Okay, today let's talk about lung inflation therapy. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the difference between doing lung inflation therapy via an inspiratory hold on the vent in the current mode of the patient versus switching to our new procedure of switching to CPAP for 30 seconds. So right here we got the pressure waveform at the top, which represents the pressure in the circuit. You have the flow waveform in the middle that represents the amount of flow going into the patient and out of the patient. From above the line is inspiratory flow and expiratory flow is below the line. So this patient's sitting on 25/5 and we have our inspiratory hold inflation therapy ordered. So if we come in here and we do an inspiratory hold on this patient, I'm going to hold the inspiratory button down and it's going to hold the pressure up at the high pressure 25 for 5 seconds usually is how they order it, right? So let's do this again, but let's do it with the patient breathing. So what we're going to look at is we're going to look at the middle waveform, the flow that's actually moving in and out of the patient during this inspiratory hold. So I'm going to do an inspiratory hold and I'm going to look here. Now you can see the patient is attempting to move flow and on the pressure curve you see the pressure is going up and down as he attempts to breathe during your inspiratory hold. Now you can see through the middle waveform there is zero flow going in and out of the patient. So during this phase of 5 seconds of inspiratory hold, the patient cannot move any flow in and out of the patient whatsoever, and essentially is fighting against an immovable object as he tries to breathe in and breathe out. Okay, let's do the same thing using our technique of switching to CPAP for up to 30 seconds for the same inflation therapy. So we're going here, we see what is his peak pressure is 25, and we go to CPAP pressure support, and we're going to increase our PEEP to what the peak airway pressure currently is. We're going to take the pressure support and make it 0, so we don't add any pressure during any phase. Okay, so now we have our peak pressure set. We have our PEEP set at 25 with no delta, and we're going to accept it. And we're going to look for 30 seconds. So we're going to see as this patient now breathes, you can see we're moving the pressure up and down by 2 or so centimeters of water pressure just like before, except the patient can move flow both in and out during this inspiratory hold. So now we still have the same amount of peak pressure, if you will, in the chest during the inspiratory hold phase. However, the patient is able to move flow and move volume in and out during the inspiratory hold phase that you're attempting to perform. This is key to a better technique of both trying to hold the inspiratory volume over a longer period of time, as well as making it comfortable for the patient during that phase, or at least more comfortable for the patient during that phase. And you notice the peak pressures are not spiking nearly as high as they were before when the patient was trying to breathe against the closed valve.